So we ended up getting solar panels for our house and wanted to go with Tesla because we had seen the integration with the app and it being super easy. The way that the power walls look and what have you, everything looked pretty nice, and it really was the only like full solution option that I saw out in the market. So wanted to sign up with Tesla and get it up and running. I signed up, got everything done, got somebody to come out here. They're actually planning on doing installs, but ended up never installing anything. They just kept postponing things. And after a year of waiting, I was like, I'm done with Tesla. We're gonna find another solution. If people are wondering why I didn't end up choosing Tesla, I did choose Tesla. They just didn't really choose me. I think one of the issues was that they were having issues creating enough battery packs, and also possibly an issue with supply of solar panels. So one of the things to note is that Tesla has a partnership with QCell, which is a manufacturer of solar panels. And they don't give you options for what types of solar panels you want. They just give you what essentially QCell creates. Tesla doesn't manufacture their own solar panels or anything like that. They don't even really manufacture their own batteries. They package it up in another manufacturer of batteries, and then they put their sort of logo on it, and then they say, this is our Tesla Powerwall. So was hoping to get that, got estimates, and it ended up falling through. The issue that was just driving me insane for a couple of months was that the installers were blaming the village for not telling them what code they were supposed to abide by. And I kept getting a call saying, the village isn't cooperating with us and they're not telling us what to do. So I called the village told me that this is the particular code that we're supposed to be abiding by, and then I told the Tesla installers. In this particular industry at the moment, at least from what I've seen, is that there isn't a company that manufactures the batteries, manufactures the solar panels, and also does the installs. Another thing is that we ended up switching to a different company, so a company called RxSun, and I live in Illinois, so I was going back and forth with this salesperson, to see what my options were. So basically send in where you're located, and then they build out a plan for you. EnergySage recommended a contractor who sells and hires in the contractors to actually get the manufactured goods, so the batteries and the solar panels and the inverters and what have you, and then the particular company outsources to contractors the install, and then they sort of work back and forth between the particular company that you're purchasing from. So I used a company called RxSun, not sponsored or anything like that, just a company that I particularly use, and it was recommended from EnergySage. From when I made the initial request and said, yes, let's go with you guys, to now, so it was about a 5-month period in which I waited for, after signing the contract and putting saying that I'm going to pay this amount and agreeing with the particular terms of payment, to when they actually installed and everything is all set up now. So first thing is that it takes a while. Some states faster than other states, but again, this was 6 months versus I waited for Tesla for 1 year, and they had still not given me a date of when they were going to install. So yeah, I went with a different company, and this different company allowed me to choose particular solar panels and different specifications of solar panels. So I got a few different options. So there were some options where it was only on the south-facing roof, and there was some with the south-facing roof, and then some on the garage as well. So what I was asking the person was like, oh, hey, do you have any other sizes of panels that you can use that have a larger capacity? So we ended up going with REC 405 panel, which is a slightly larger panel, but the capacity is higher, so it will output more solar energy. And so I decided to go with that and only put it on the south facing side of the roof. And it just so happens the south facing side of the roof is not facing the street, so when you're walking by you really won't see the solar panels, so it doesn't even look like we have solar panels, so it's kind of cool. So the thing that was nice about being able to choose, and the other thing was we're also allowed to choose Q cells too. So Tesla does not give you this option, so it's probably one of the reasons why you may not want to go with them is because of that. And also with this company, there's a 30-year warranty on the actual panels, so that's something that is also longer. In addition to that, the warranty on the actual solar panels is better in terms of, with the 25-year warranty, it means that at year 25, it should at least have 92% of the output capacity that it had in year 1. So that's something that's really nice, and that is a pretty big difference between the Q cell. In the contract that I signed with Tesla originally when they were going through their entire process, it specifies that they would do 25-year warranty, but only 80% of the power capacity after year 25. So a pretty big difference in terms of quality, like at year 25 with Tesla, with the Q cells, I could have 80% of the output capacity versus 92% of the REC alphas. So that's another thing to note. The major difference with the batteries, we ended up getting 3 battery packs and they're 8 N-phase batteries. So it's micro inverters versus like one big inverter. So there's benefits of that as well. So there are pretty big differences in terms of that. The N-phase battery uses a lithium iron phosphate, which apparently is more safe, and the overall longevity of it, so you can go from 0 to 100 without any issues. Whereas the Tesla uses a lithium nickel manganese cobalt oxide, or an NMC. And there's a difference in warranty for the batteries as well. So the Tesla Powerwall has a better warranty in terms of it doesn't have a particular amount of cycles that you can run through without the warranty in the 10-year warranty that it has. Whereas the N-phase battery, the 10-year warranty is 10 years or 7,300 cycles. So with the Tesla single inverter, there's pros and cons to that as well. One con would be essentially it's one inverter, so if the inverter goes bad, all your solar does not work. With the microinverters, if one microinverter goes bad, the rest of them still produce solar, and you can just replace that one bad microinverter. So those are some of the pros and cons, but the first couple of weeks that I've had this, it's very interesting to see. And in Illinois, again, not known to be like one of the most sunny states, and in the wintertime, so we got this installed in November, so fall time, and not really the time where we would see the most sunlight or the most energy produced. But it's interesting to see that even on days where it's not super sunny, we still can get like 50 kilowatts produced, and on days where it's not sunny at all, there's around 5.5 watts or 5.5 kilowatts of energy produced. So as we move forward to, let's say, the rest of the year, we should be able to provide you with a quote-unquote lifetime or year end of how the solar has been producing. But it's very interesting to see that some of the days that we're doing laundry, or I charge my car, different things like that, you can see sort of in the Enphase app what it's doing, sort of how much you're actually using versus how much you're producing. You can actually use net metering to sell some of that electricity back to the grid and export it out of your house. So that's something that's really nice too, and something that I'm playing around with to try to gain the money that we paid for it back quicker. So first thing to note is that how much did all of this cost? The entirety of what it's supposed to cost retail-wise is $74,203, and that's without any incentives at all. So no state incentives and no federal incentives. And when I signed sort of this contract, it was a 26% federal credit. So just with that, the price would be $51,942.10. And there's also in Illinois a SRC rebate. So essentially, ComEd or the particular provider gives an estimate of what your solar panels will produce in 15 years. So they pay you back a specific amount per megawatt that you would produce in those 15 years. Okay, so we end up having to pay $38,811.10. So a pretty still large amount. It's supposedly going to take 6 months to get that SRC check. And obviously, when we file taxes in 2023 in April, we should get that incentive back for the solar panels as well. So all of that said, we should be ending up paying $38,811. It'll be interesting to see as we move into spring and into summer and so on and so forth, how much this ends up making. If you have any questions, let me know. If you want to see more videos like this, or have suggestions of things or questions that you want to hear about, leave them in the comments below. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.